Well, hi, and welcome to another edition of Your Schools. I'm Guy Sconzo, the very proud superintendent of Humble ISD, and look who's joining me, our new awesome co-host, Carrie Brinson. Carrie, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Guy.
Oh, I am so excited to be working with you.
Well, I'm excited too.
Now,
Thank you.
Don't get me wrong, I miss Lynn, but I've got a much closer version to Kelly Ripa right now. So, Carrie, welcome.
Not sure about that. That's a lot of pressure to put Kelly Ripa standards on me, Guy, early on.
No pressure at all, but we do have a super show.
Yes, we do.
For your first show.
Mm-hmm. We absolutely do.
We've got some athletic teams, some of the high school athletic teams that have made it to state, that have become state champions that we want to share with all of you.
Absolutely, and we've got new graduation requirements thanks to House Bill 5.
Yes, that's so important. We just can't get enough information out about that, and so hopefully this will help.
No, absolutely, and we have our board members. We have our board member segment, and we've had Dr. Robert Scarfo and Angela Conrad here to talk about data and technology governance, very important issues as we move forward. Technology key to changes in our district coming up.
Oh, it sure is. I mean, it's a way of life. It's just
absolutely. You can't escape it, can you?
No. Although I admit I try.
Well, that's good. That's good. You work very hard. We need you to escape technology every now and then.
Thanks, Carrie. Well, welcome again to all of you and to you, Carrie.
Thank you.
I'm really excited to be together. And stay with us. We'll get things underway in just a minute. Well, thanks for coming back. You know, Kingwood High School has had a long, rich history of all kinds of state championships, both athletic and academic. But today we want to share with you what I think is a pretty unique and kind of interesting, at least state appearance that one of the teams at Kingwood High School recently made just a couple of months ago, Carrie, and that's the Ultimate Frisbee team. Now, if you don't know it, Ultimate Frisbee has been a competitive sport since the 60s. Carrie, you wouldn't remember that, but
close.
Unfortunately I do. But since the 60s at the college level, but more recently it really has caught on in high schools, and we're real excited that we've got an Ultimate Frisbee team at Kingwood High School. So with us, 3 graduates of Kingwood High School. We just graduated a couple months ago, and really thank you guys for coming back. We really appreciate it. First at the far end, let me introduce Zach Cotter. Zach, thanks for being here. We also have Ross Pryor and Travis Monteleone. Guys, again, thanks.
No problem.
So Travis, let me start with you. Tell us a little bit about Ultimate Frisbee, the sport. Some of the basics, like how many players on the field, what the objective is, and so forth.
All right, well, generally there's 7 players on each team, so a total of 14 playing at one time. And it's kind of like a mix between football and soccer. There's 2 end zones that you're trying to score like touchdowns in, basically. And how it works is you throw the Frisbee to your teammates, but you can't run with it. And so once you get it, you just have to keep passing it down the field.
Oh.
But if you drop it, or if the other team hits it away or something, it's their Frisbee. And so it's just pretty much constant running. That's kind of like soccer, and you're just trying to score touchdowns throughout the game. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So literally when you have possession, you can't move.
Right.
You've got to pass. Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
All you can do is pass it.
Gosh, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question.
Sure.
My understanding is in Ultimate Frisbee, there is something called self-officiating.
Right.
Can you explain a little bit about what self-officiating is?
Yeah, so basically, there's no officials, and it's this whole big deal in Frisbee, the spirit of the game, in which, everyone's pretty honorable, and we're all, supposed to be really good friends and whatnot, and so, you're supposed to call your own fouls and just be, a good sport and not have to rely on officials to do it. Now, sometimes there are observers there who will kind of keep us in check, but without us asking for it, they won't make any calls. It's really all up to the players. And a lot of times it does become pretty frustrating whenever they're not making calls that you quite agree with.
So how often does that happen?
Very often.
A lot, yeah.
More often than you'd like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just when games get competitive, teams will start making calls that you don't agree with. But at the end of every game, what we do is both teams circle up in the middle, and it's just for the spirit of the game. Just even if there's been some talking or calls that you don't both agree with, you circle up in the middle and kind of
I'll be friends.
all friends at the end.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Well, it's great it works out that way.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's the only game I'm aware of or competition that actually has no officiating, that has that approach of self-officiating. So, Ross, you made it to state.
Yeah, we sure did.
How do you do that? I mean, what was your record? How do you get to state, and what was it like competing at that level?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that you have to like qualify to be into the state tournament. Because last year we qualified, and so we got, I think, 8th it was, and so that made us like qualify again for the next year. And so we just decided to come back again, and the competition is really, really tough. I will say, like, I wasn't expecting it. Like, I've never played Frisbee before. Like, this is my first year playing, and so like coming in, I was like, oh, it's Frisbee. Like, it's gonna be easy, but it really wasn't that easy at all. And like, the kids out there, like, they know what they're doing. Like, they know like how like to throw it and like how to like to get away from you, like when you're trying to defend them. So yeah, it's pretty tough, but yeah, we did pretty well.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. That is awesome.
So during the regular season, do you guys play other schools in our district, or who is your competition?
We don't play any other schools. Like, this is our first tournament.
Okay.
It's kind of hard because there's not many other teams like locally in Houston. Atascocita had one last year that we tried to get games set up with, but never really got the chance. So most of our games and like practicing, I guess, are just a bunch of friends getting together and just playing like it's a pickup game.
Yeah.
So you typically then have to travel to play other teams.
Right, yeah, most of the competition's from the Dallas area,
Okay.
And sometimes Austin, and so yeah, usually all of our competition with other schools comes from like statewide tournaments that we'll travel for. We've traveled to Waco twice, and 2 years ago the tournament was just in Houston, so.
Close to home.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, I'm just trying to picture this because I have to admit I've never seen a ultimate frisbee competition, but I mean, it sounds really, really rigorous, like constant running.
Yeah.
A lot of stop and go, trying to evade whoever's defending you. What about the size of the field? Is it a soccer field, football field? I mean, what would it be comparable to?
It's the size of a football field, but instead of 10-yard end zones, it has 25-yard end zones.
Oh,
So the
it's
end zones
deeper.
are very deep.
Okay.
So it's deeper end zones, but the length of a football field, so you're still running the entire length.
So with that size of an end zone, is the objective someone has to catch the Frisbee in the end zone? Okay,
right.
and that's how you
the point.
score.
Exactly.
Wow, that is awesome. So awesome. Well, I think it's fair to predict, I don't know if you would agree, that this is really going to start to catch on, in the area.
I think so too. And as more and more people start to play it, I think more and more people are going to realize how much fun it is, because it really is just like a really fun sport that you can just play with your friends pretty much whenever. I mean, the Frisbee's not hard to obtain, so it's just a lot of fun. And that's kind of how it started with us, was just a big group of friends playing together, and we thought we might as well compete.
Oh, that's great. Now, you guys are seniors, so
Right.
obviously you're leaving Kingwood High School.
Yes.
How is the club? Do you have lots of underclassmen coming up? Do you have enough bodies to play in the future?
Our team was definitely mostly seniors this year. We were a tight group of friends that all wanted to play, but we did have a few juniors, and we had a lot of kids try out for the team, but we only have a certain number of spots. And so next year, once we're all gone, all of those kids will be able to make the team, and I think it'll keep growing from there. We have a lot of good underclassmen, ready to take over.
Great.
Awesome. Well, real quick, they're waving us on, and I'm sorry we're out of time, but quickly, Zach, let me start with you. So summer's winding down, fall's coming. Where are y'all going to be, Zach?
I'm going to Colorado School of Mines, and I'm actually going to be playing Frisbee there.
Awesome.
That's
club team.
great.
Hey, great school, too.
Thank you.
I'm going to Southern Nazarene. It's a D2 school in Oklahoma. I'm playing football.
Awesome.
Yeah.
My Pryor State, Oklahoma. SMU's a good school.
And I'm just going to UT, and I'm not going to play any sports though.
Well, Travis, I'm sorry to hear that, but
Yeah, that's
it's a good other school in the state.
exactly.
Well, guys, again, thank you so much for coming back. This is really great. You have started, and hopefully it will continue. Just a really neat tradition at Kingwood High School. Another winning tradition. And you all stay with us. We've got more to share.